Knowledge of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Soon after the enslaving of the 10 tribes of Israel by Assyria, the kingdom of Judea also lost its independence. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, conquered the Judean kingdom 2,500 years ago. He destroyed the first temple in Jerusalem, taking the tribes of Judah, Levi, Benjamin into slavery to Babylon, now the area of modern Iraq, and forbade the practice of the martial arts. All these events led to the disappearance of the divine presence, HaShekinah, from the land of Israel. Since that very time, the Ruach HaKodesh, translated as the Spirit of Holiness, and the people of Israel are in exile, Galut. The Spirit of Holiness, Ruach HaKodesh, is the union of holiness and spirituality. Judaism has kept the holiness, but lost the practice of the body labors by breathing exercises cultivates man's spirit. This knowledge of the spiritual labors is kept with the 10 lost tribes of Israel, who have lost their connection with holiness. 1. The spiritual knowledge is outlined in detail in traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture. A network of energy meridians, Jinglo, links the 365 points of acupuncture into a single system. The 365 points are linked to heaven with an electric flow, an energy channel like an invisible thread. If this link is broken, a person risks becoming ill or risks experiencing a natural disaster or an accident, etc. In the Hebrew tradition, such a breaking of the link with heaven is called a divine punishment, kareth, literally a cutting off from heaven. The points of the meridians are similar to the map of the stars in the firmament, and there is an invisible link between the points and the stars. In the Hebrew tradition, the 365 basic points of the acupuncture corresponds to 365 shasa gedim, which is usually translated as the 365 tendons because the energy channels are located along tendons. The next similarity between traditional Chinese medicine and the Hebrew tradition is the understanding of the importance of the life essence, Jing, and of the 248 body parts, Brahma Ivarim. The life essence, Jing, is an initially inherent human energy, which manifests itself primarily in the strength of the bones. The 248 body parts, Ramach Evarim, Mishnah Owalat 1:8, are the bones of the skeleton. Bones are considered to be organs as bone marrow produces the red blood cells, which enter the bloodstream from the bones and are responsible for distribution of oxygen throughout the body. Both traditions classify everything according to the two opposites, yin and yang. Internal organs are divided into solid, yin-sang, and hollow, yang-fu ones, just like in the blessing for the healthy work of all created organs. Blessed art thou, our heavenly Lord, King of the universe, who has created man in his wisdom and has created in the man porous, solid organs, zang, and hollow, empty organs, fu. Prayer book, the Siddur, Asher Yatzar blessing. There is yet another symbolic parallel. The history of the people of Israel starts from the three forefathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, from whom all the 12 tribes of Israel emanate. In traditional Chinese medicine, there are 3 heaters, Sanjiao, which give rise to the 12 energy meridians, Jinglo. 2. Qi Gong, the practice of the body and breathing exercises that cultivates spirituality. The ancient practice of martial arts is based on the knowledge of the energy meridians. That has been forgotten by Western civilization. The energy channels became activated during the right stretching of specific tendons. Martial arts training corrects all levels in a human being, what is known as the general correction, Tikun Klali, and the basic correction, Tikun Ha-Yesod. In ancient Israel, there were special settlements for Levim and Kohanim, Numbers 35:3. Like the Shaolin in China, where the masters taught the spiritual refinement by practicing of the martial arts and Qi Gong skills. The Far East masters, by means of hard body training of the martial arts and the breathing exercises of Qi Gong, cultivate their spirit and perform spiritual work. So it is written, "By the sweat that released when you do breathing exercises, only then would you become a warrior." Genesis 3:17. This means of allowing breathing to influence the body and the mind during Qi Gong practice. The practice of spiritual work Qi Gong was a mandatory condition for the servants of temple during performing of the temple works, Avodat Kohanim. Returning of the people of Israel to the Qi Gong practice and to the spiritual knowledge would return the divine presence, Ha-Shekinah, and the third temple in Jerusalem. In the next video, creation of the world according to Kabbalah and the Eidzin Book of Changes. Subscribe to our channel and visit our website http://www.haderekeretz.co.il.